Hey, just bringing you a quick tutorial on how to build a minecart junction. It is best designed for a three-way or a T intersection, but it can function on full plus intersection. However, that takes up a ridiculous amount of space and is actually better off just having two T junctions to do it. So when you place tracks, they don't actually automatically update to where they should be facing. They just connect to whoever was joined to them first. So this causes a slight bit of issue when trying to work out whether something gets powered properly or not. Quick fix: so when it's powered, it faces one way, not powered, the other way. So when we sort out which button we want where, so I'm going to make this side turns left. So all that means is when I push this button, this doesn't need to change, it stays on the off. So we'll just hook that up, doesn't need to do anything. Button, doesn't do anything. However, we do need it to connect to this. And what was the other thing? The detector rail. To make sure it stays on the whole time, we use a thing called an RS NOR latch. It's in the wrong size here. And what that does is lets it stay on, and it doesn't matter how many times you press the button afterwards, it'll stay on and will never change. So at the moment it's off. If I push the button, it should stay off because I've hooked it up the wrong way. Reset button. Alright, so I push this button, it switches the RS NOR latch the other way around. There we go. Stays that way. Not going to change. Stays on that way. When I press this button, boop. Alright. Redstone. Boop. Changes. And stays changed. And that's what we want to see. Now, we need to take this output, push it past that wire, and into here. What this will do, there we go, we've got power. We press the button, nothing happens. So now we need to take the output, so the detector rails at either end. Oh my god, rain, that is so frustrating. There we go. Take the output of here, pump it back into the other side of the RS NOR latch, so it acts like the reset button there. And we'll just chuck this rail, this minecart to check it, and what do you know, it resets. Notice I haven't changed this one yet, so what I'm going to do is on the other side, when I can destroy this, there we go, we'll put another button. Again, same place, same setup, so we'll put a RS NOR latch. Oh, bit of lag, there we go, connect it up. Again, so this, I probably should put a reset button on this one as well. There we go. And again, we need to wire this up. So this is just a reset function, and we'll reset to whatever default setting, which is this one. So now, when we press this button, which I haven't placed yet, this button, we want the track to switch sides, and so we know it needs to have power. So we'll just wire this round. And so when we push the button, this should turn on, which will turn that off, which will make this stay on permanently. Watch. Boop. Turns on. This is now facing the other way. But as of yet, I have not wired this in. So we'll just quickly do that. There we go. And that's the most basic setup you can do for it. Obviously, when you have a second junction connecting here, you require a lot more wiring space and a few more buttons. For example, you need a button here, which not only connects. So now, when this single player command is so frustrating sometimes. When we push this button, we want it to not only. I'm sorry, you're not. Turn off the reset. When we push this button, this is not wired in, so it won't do anything. Let's try that again. There we go. This is now on, and if we push this, does that change? I don't even notice. Let's have a look. Push that, destroy it. Ooh, let's fill that in. So as you can see, this is on. This is the right way by default. So when we'd wire in the button for this side, we'd have to power it which makes things really awkward. But as it is now, it's fine. Let's have a look at this side. So if I do the same thing to this side, alrighty, let's just push a little button here to reset it. There we go. So when it's powered, it flicks that way. So this one, if we reset you, where's the reset button? Oop, there we go, reset. That makes it nice and easy for us. So all we have to do for this side is it just connects to this. And then there'll be a detector rail there, and a powered rail should be there in the same place. I'll show you a demonstration of it in action in a second when I join the server. There we go. So that should, let's just wire this up like that. Yeah, that'll do. So when I push this button, that's currently off. Boop, switches, they're both on. Hit the detector rail or the reset button, which should still be here. Yes. And it's reset. And we didn't have to change these two because that's what they are by default. So we just need to power them when we want to say turn left here or turn right. And so this is the standard, this is what a three-way should look like on the surface. Size is less important, so you can make it any size you want. The beauty of the three is that you don't have to stop and start to get to the other side. You choose what the left, but this button on the side would push you that way. Button on the side push you that way, and same go in the opposite direction. And if you had a button on the right, it would just push you all the way around. When you add a fourth track, you no longer have the option to go all the way around, and it makes things slightly more complicated. You'd have to stop and start to get things going the way exactly where you want them. You have to wire that, and then you either have the straight across route, which slows you down slightly, or you go up, stop, round, stop, or carry on I should say, and that makes things more complicated. It also requires a lot more space and wiring, and I'll just show you now what it looks like. Right, so here we go, we're at the first junction I made, and this one is probably more complicated than it needs to be because I was just testing out how things would work, but I'll show you how they work on the inside. So this button would activate this and switch these two to facing that way, and it would also activate this. I'll just give you a quick demonstration. Push the button, on, switch, switch, on, and then when you hit either this one or that detector rail, because it works both ways, these buttons activating the same thing, I can just put this here and it should reset. There we go, lovely. And you can see I made the default position the straight through route, and that just simplifies the wiring slightly on that side, because otherwise that would take up more space. Although it probably would have simplified some of this other wiring. Nah. Alright, now let's have a look at the inside. I hope this isn't going to break a wire. Thankfully. Alright. So, the buttons, as you can see, the buttons on either side would come through pushing these. This connects down to the RS NOR latch, as you can see. Pushes there. This one goes back. RS NOR latch. And then feeds into this one, which feeds the powered track. That should be the powered track above me. Not 100% sure. It powers into this one, which yes, I do need to do that. And then so you can see it goes down, across. Probably could have done wiring better than this, but you know what is. In fact, my second one is much more efficient in space-wise. Possibly not redstone-wise because it has quite a lot going around the outside, and then it feeds through to this one, which again I could probably not have that there, but I'm not really sure why I have that there. Interesting. That feeds to this one, which turns the track, and then this is the other powered track, so that it goes through. And then when you have the detector rail, there's the wiring, goes back to the RS NOR latch here, and comes from this detector rail back down to the RS NOR latch. Yeah, the other one is definitely probably a worse design, but I think that was because I was trying to save space. I have power running along the detector lines. It got real messy. So we go to the other side. This side over here is basically identical, just feeding power to different parts depending on what I need. So this one, because it's default tuning this way, doesn't need to power this. Instead you just need to power this one to turn it from going straight to going to the right. And that's all. That's just why that one's there. Still not sure about why that's like that. Maybe there's probably a reason for it. I can't remember now. If we, oh my god, I can't get around there that way. Alright, so this side, nice big and open. Again, could make it more compact. There's the RS Norlatch. And you can take, did I take feeds from either side of these? I don't remember. You can take them from either side, but depending on which one you want, you're going to have to stick a NOT gate or something similar to it on the end of it. So when the buttons press, I think these two are the buttons, they come down. Oh, I should totally do that. And the other one I've got it wired across, so both buttons do the same thing, and then the wire comes down, instead of having going all the way around, making it all weird and complicated. And then having to wire the detector rails for miles round to get back to the, like this one. This is this detector rail. Round, all the way, and then back into the RS Norlatch, which is a really silly way to do it. I probably could have done it much better. Besides the point, and this one doesn't come in contact with any of these. It stays entirely away from it, and just powers the two powered rails, and they just go straight through. And it works every time, no fail. And and there's no server lag because of how it, where did I come in from? I can't remember. There. There's no server lag on it. It's a perfect system, and it avoids, it has the issues with being a bit sluggish sometimes because of servers, but it does actually work perfectly. I'm going to lose my minecart in a second. Okay, apparently that's just probably because I'm not writing it. Let's try that again. I'll write it this time. Push the rail to reset it, turns it off. Alright, let's get in it. Click, there we go. Push, which side do I want to go? Do I go to city or to my place? Let's go to the city. I'm going to destroy it after straight away anyway. Boop, turns on the power. And whoosh, out the other side. And me riding over that works.